What's up, everyday blades? Well, it's a special video. This is not only my Grail knife, this is video number 300 for this channel. So honestly, when I started it, I was just doing it to catalog the knives that I had, you know, the ones that I've traded off, and I wanted to go back and see them and keep a catalog of the knives that I had. But fortunately, it turned into almost an actual knife review channel. Mainly just wanted to share the knives I've been fortunate enough to have come across my desk and that I've been fortunate enough to own. And people in the knife community are just awesome. You know, we show off our knives and show them in the groups, and it's not, none of it's bragging. It's all, we're just proud to own them. You know, we love these knives and we're proud to show them off to people. This knife has a special place in my heart. Ever since the first day I saw the Evo 2, I didn't know this knife existed, but I saw the Evo 2, I knew I had to have it. I love that knife. I know a lot of people share that same sentiment, but I've had a couple of Evo 2s, and now I have the one I ended up keeping. I went through a couple of variants, the plain tie, and now I have the little nicer version with the dark tie and the Zerk tie clip and pivot collar. This is the original Evo. We refer to it as the Evo 1, but it's really just the original Evo. And seeing it in pictures and things, it just doesn't do a whole lot for it other than you just want it. You know, I like bigger knives. You know, I've always been a Medford fan, and that the Evo 2 is pretty beefy in itself, but this one's even bigger. This is the Evo Evolution. It was the first knife put out by CKF from Rotten Designs, and you can't really get a payoff from that pivot collar. It's really hard to catch it, but man, in person it is so beautiful. It's a lot larger than the pivot collar for the, let's see, the Evo. You can barely see that pivot collar. It's Zerk tie. This one's Damascus, and I'll tell you what, it is beautiful. You can see a lot better on the clip. It's got a few scratches. You know, it's a little bit older knife, but that's the only visible wear you can see on this knife. It's been well taken care of. The hand rubbed satin finish on the blade is just beautiful. I mean, CKF does a killer job with that. I love the blue anodizing just as much as I like the dark tie. So I want to first kind of give you a comparison between the Evo 2 and the regular Evo. Now, looking at them side by side, it doesn't seem like there's a huge difference. When you have them in hand, it's a big difference. You know, a half inch on a knife is a lot. This knife is significantly heavier than this knife. I mean, almost twice as heavy. But it doesn't bother me. I like big knives. The action on here is multi-row bearing system, just like all the other ones. This is just phenomenal. I mean, this is, to me, the perfect knife. I love the blade shape. I love the ergos. Everything about this knife is perfect. The only little bit of a knock, I guess you could say, on it was the jimping was a little bit aggressive at the top. It was pretty sharp. I mean, it was almost cut you sharp. I just went over it with the light emery board and it was good to go. Just cleaned it up a little bit. Got the over travel stop and block bar insert. I wish that Damascus came through on camera like it does in person. It is just beautiful. The only negative to Damascus is it's a polished item, so those scratches, you can see them on camera and you really can't hardly see them in person because they're catching the light. It's just beautiful. Now, let me grab my ruler real quick. Take some measurements. So the blade length is 3 3/4. Handle scales are 4 3/4. The total overall length of 8.5 inches. As compared to the Evo 2, 3.5 and 4.5. So about a 1/4 inch difference, bigger blade and a 1/4 inch different, bigger handle scales. Which, you know, like I said, a 1/2 inch makes a big difference on a knife. But they both are phenomenal. I originally, so to get this knife is more than I can spend on a knife. To get this knife, I traded one of my coveted knives, and then I paid the rest in cash. But I originally was going to trade my Grimsmo Rask and this knife to get this knife. I really was not a fan of doing that. I did not want to let go of my Evo 2 because I didn't think I'd get another one. But I just wanted this knife so bad I was willing to do it. And then, at the last minute, we worked out a deal for cash, so I was able to keep it. And I'm really, really glad I did. One thing I have a question, maybe some of you CKF experts can help me. This was in the package. It looks to be, it's magnetic. And it's green and white. I have no idea what that's for. Of course, it comes with the full set of replacement hardware like all CKFs do. This one came with the original clip because they chose the Timascus option. But I'm just really curious of what this is. And of course, all the CKFs come with this awesome pouch. Super, super cool. So let's check the weight on it. That's a significant thing with this. First, let's check the Evo 2. So that's what we always compare this to. 5.2, perfect. And then the Evo. 7.7 ounces. She's a chunky monkey, but I wouldn't have it any other way. It's perfect. And these are absolutely my two favorite knives. I can't imagine ever getting rid of these. This one took me a year to get. This one probably technically took me, 8 months to a year to get because I had other versions. I just wasn't happy with them. I wanted the Zerk tie clip and collar and the dark tie. That's my favorite version. And you just cannot beat that hand rub satin finish. I think it's phenomenal. Anyway, they also have, this one has the polished Zerk backspacer. It is beautiful. I mean, it looks like a piece of jewelry. Yeah. This one had a matte finish, and I actually took it out and polished it. Polished the dark off of it. I left the dark in the back, but kind of tough to tell on camera. But I like it a lot better the way it is now. But anyway, that is the Evolution. Custom Knife Factory Evolution by Rotten Designs. Sitting beside the Evo 2 by Rotten Designs. The Evo 3 is supposed to be dropping very soon. I don't know how all that's going to work out, but I hope to get one. I will try very hard to get one. So, and then I'll have all three of them. So, I'm a huge fan of Custom Knife Factory. That's no secret. Guys, thanks for watching. God bless you and your families. Say a prayer for our country. Good night.